name is him, and he can make it junior. He'll be a junior. Once Jeremiah have his son and he be a junior, then Jeremiah's name was changed to a senior. Oh, that's sweet. That's sweet. I never knew that. I never knew that. Because I'm trying to figure out how the fuck we get the senior. Okay.
This is how it goes. So the very first person will be the senior, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then when he has his son is a junior. When that person has their son is the third. So I have a friend that he's a senior, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he wants to name all his boys after him. So he has, I think it's a total of 4 or 5 of them. But anyways, he's the senior. The next to the oldest is a junior. The next to that
so basically, it just keep on going down.
Keep going. Yes, that's how it goes. When it's like in my friend's situation, it just keeps going. The number just keeps going. So at the first, second, it's easy to say senior, junior, third. Then you go fourth.
So
fifth,
Cooper just stay at third.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. And so if he has a son, then his son would be a senior.
No, his son wouldn't be no senior.
Listen, when his son has a son, because that's his son's firstborn. So when his son has a son.
So when Matthew have a son, he gonna be what?
So when Matthew's son has a son, because it'll be Matthew's son's firstborn son. He names his son after him, right? If his son has a kid.
Oh, then Matthew will be a senior.
Right.
Oh,
the son.
Okay.
Yeah,
I get it now.
So yeah, it just goes.
Well, really, if Matthew, so it's not really like that. If Matthew have a son, and he named Matthew, because Matthew he not a Cooper, he not a junior. I mean, he not the fourth. But if Matthew have a son, and he named his son the same name, then his son would be a junior, and then Matthew turned to a senior.
No, so it goes senior, junior. Okay, like I'll use my son and my son's father as an example. So my son, well, in fact, I got a better one. My grandfather, his daddy, and my uncle. So my great-grandfather is a senior.
Mm-hmm.
My grandfather is the junior. My uncle is the third. They all have the same name.
Okay.
My great-grandfather is the senior because he's the father of my grandfather. My grandfather is the junior because he's the son of my great-grandfather. My uncle is the third because he's the son of my grandfather.
I know, I get that part, but then you switched it to saying that if Matthew has a son.
So you're asking if your son has a son.
And he named him.
So yeah, it just keeps going.
If he named him Matthew, then Matthew turned to a senior.
No. It keeps going.
Because Matthew don't have the same name as his daddy, so his lineage get cut off.
Right. So Cooper it goes lineage, into numbers.
So lineage,
it goes into numbers. Like
Cooper lineage is cut off because Matthew don't have the same name as him. So we'll actually start over with Matthew, right?
What do you mean? Like he don't have like the same first, middle, and last name?
Yeah.
So what's different? His middle name?
His
last name?
He not.
Oh, so he would have to be named exactly after his father.
Right, yeah, he would have to be named.
They would have to have the first, middle, and same last name. Like all 3 names would have to be the same. So if it was Michael John Stewart, right?
Mm-hmm.
Their names would have to be Michael John Stewart Sr., Michael John Stewart Jr., Michael John
Right.
Sr.
So yeah. Okay.
the
So
third.
that's what I'm saying.
So
So
if they
Matthew.
have,
So Matthew.
so
Make
when they
it,
start having,
so
kids,
Matthew make it start over, right? So, but if Matthew name it start over because Cooper lineage is cut off, so Matthew because his name not the same.
Well, if his name is not the same, then it wouldn't even be. He wouldn't even be like a junior or a third or anything.
I know, I get that part, but what I'm saying, like now, if Matthew have a child and he named his son Matthew Isaiah
Senior, or if he named his son after the grandpa, right?
No, if he named his son after him, if Matthew named his son after him, then Matthew would become a senior.
Oh, okay, I get what you said. So Matthew, even though his name is not the same as the dad, if he names his son after him,
yeah, he gonna
then
become.
it would start. Yeah, he becomes a senior, and
Okay,
his son will become the junior. So yes, that's how it go. I think I was getting confused on what you were saying. So yeah, that's how it would go.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, that's cool. I thought he was trying to become a senior, but he was trying to just get Matthew to be a fourth, because if Matthew would have had his name, then his lineage would have went on. His lineage would have went on. And I told Cooper when I was pregnant with him, I told him when he had Matthew, when I was pregnant with Matthew, I said I would give him your name. But he stopped coming around, and I didn't see him until after Matthew was like 15 months. So I just said, fuck him. Like, you ain't gonna, he didn't even show up at the hospital when I was carrying him. Bitch, you think you about to get a fourth? He thought Matthew was about to be a fourth to carry on his lineage. You wasn't even there at the hospital. Why would I give him the fourth? You would have showed up at the hospital. His name today would have been Cooper. His name would have been Cooper. I'm not gonna tell y'all Cooper middle name. But Cooper blank Strong the fourth. He would have been a motherfucking fourth. No, because Cooper is the third. So he would have been the fourth. He carries the bloodline, but the name is cut off, and he did that shit to himself. He did that shit to himself. He cut his own lineage off by being bitter. Aber is just it's just a name that he made up because he didn't want his real name spread across the internet. So he just said Aber Young. Yeah, I'm glad I went with Matthew. It matches personality. And y'all want to know something so funny? His name is Matthew Isaiah Crumsey, and then so the bitch was like, "So what is this? I'm losing Isaiah." I'm like, "Oh y'all bitches think y'all funny." Does he want to be young? He's so weak. I mean, it doesn't cut off his lineage, but it cut off his it does not cut off his birthright, but it does cut off his lineage when it comes to that name, because they kept the fucking name for 3 generations. Really, 1, 2, 3. They kept his name. Cooper had 4 generations of his name. So actually, you do cut it off. Yeah, and he cut it off. He cut it off himself. The name is part of the lineage. I mean, we know it's actual bloodline, but the name is important because why do you think they showed you on Roots how important our fucking name is, bro? That's why in the Deuteronomy it says that we would go in captivity by a nation with a tongue that we don't understand, that came from across the ocean with a tongue we don't comprehend. And on Roots, they made sure y'all ass knew that's one of the most historical moments of Roots. Why do you think that was one of the most historical moments of Roots, when he beat Kuta Kinte because he wanted his name to be Toby? Why would you think that's so important? The name is so fucking important because